This is a great turnout. Thanks to all the family, friends, co-workers to come out and help us to celebrate this day. You know, I've said this before. It still applies. We have a great department filled with many dedicated men and women who do a great job day in and day out. But every now and then we have folks who go above and beyond and distinguish themselves in their performance. And it's the ceremonies like this that allow us an opportunity to go ahead and acknowledge those exemplary contributions they make to the service that we provide to the citizens of Pasadena. You know, you're going to hear examples of really good work being done, but I will tell you that the humility never surprises me. These people here would just as soon go about doing their jobs day in and day out and not stand up here and get this recognition. They'd rather go along quietly. But it's important that we call them out a little bit and acknowledge and shake their hand and thank them for the job that they've done, and to also acknowledge that they went above and beyond and went that extra mile for the citizens of Pasadena and for the department. Well, our vision statement says that the Pasadena Police Department is committed to being recognized as the premier law enforcement agency in our region through the consistent delivery of excellent police services. And you know, that goes along with our challenge coin that our officers put together some time back. They had 4 words that our officers selected to go on that challenge coin, talking about service, starting with service, the teamwork, excellence, and pride. And the excellence, there is a great deal of focus on excellence and doing the job day in and day out to the best of everyone's ability. And to be that agency that everybody else looks at as being the agency to point to and say, we want to be like them because they do it right. And the pride that our folks have, and talking about that, I was glad that they included the word pride, because I will tell you, putting on this Pasadena Police Department uniform means a lot to every member of this department. And the civilians that make their contributions as well. They do a great job of making sure that the citizens get everything that they're paying for by way of salaries that we're earning. Just to brag, when talking about performance, let me just brag on my troops just a little bit. 2 years ago in 2013, our crime was down 2%. Any decrease is a win. Last year we went above and beyond, and we were down almost 15%, led by burglaries down 22%, robberies were down 20%, and thefts were down 16.5%. And we had a 12-month streak that unfortunately was just broken, a hitting streak, if you would. From March of last year through February of this year, we had 12 straight months of decrease. Because March was so low last year, we had a slight increase in March, but then again in April it was a decrease again. So for 13 of the last 14 months, crime has gone down in Pasadena, and that's largely attributable to all the efforts of our officers and civilians who contribute, our crime analysis, our records personnel, everything that goes into making sure that our officers have the information they need. And you're going to hear how some of the information was used in at least one of the narratives today. But it's more than just that. We just had an incident that happened yesterday. It goes beyond crime fighting, the services that we offer. We had some officers come across 2 young children yesterday that were 2 and 4 years old, and this is where the community comes in. Okay, now we had 2 lost children who couldn't tell us where they lived, but it was 5 o'clock in the morning. Our officers on night shift reached out to the personnel who have our Facebook account, and they posted this information on Facebook. Within 2 hours, we'd already identified where these 2 kids belonged and had them back home. And I don't know if you visit our Facebook account, but you'll see pictures of these 2 kids who were not at all worried about the event. They were coloring and playing games with the officers. I mean, it's really heartwarming to see the empathy and compassion that our officers have on situations like this. But what I want to brag about the Pasadena citizens about is because of the Facebook posting. That's how we get the information about who these kids were and where they belonged. I was shocked to learn today that posting, that over 350,000 people have seen the posting. That's pretty good advertisement, I guess, for Pasadena. That's the power of the internet and Facebook, and getting our message out there. But I think stories like that tell a lot about the kind of people that we have working here, and just as importantly, it talks about the Pasadena community and how they come together. They're there for us. They're paying attention, and they help us. And that partnership between the community and the department is always important. The work done day in and day out reflects our commitment to get the best that we can each and every time that we go out. And we recognize the citizens of Pasadena are there for us too, just as they were last week at our memorial service. We're remembering those officers that we've lost in the line of duty and across America. And I know you know of the example. Just yesterday, we learned of the officer in Houston who was killed as a result of his involvement in a chase. Our officers risk their lives day in and day out, but they do it in a worthy cause, and they do it willingly, and they know that the citizens of Pasadena have our back as well. So thank you for being here, and thank you for what you do to support the department day in and day out. As you hear these narratives, I think you're going to agree with me that civilian or classified alike, that these folks go the extra mile, went the extra mile, and deserve recognition today. And with that said, let me do one more thing before we start the presentation. I want to acknowledge my command staff, who keeps me from making too many mistakes. On the far end, we have Chief Jackson, who's over our support. We have Chief Clifton, who's over investigations, and we have Chief Bruger, who's over patrol. And I depend on these folks day in and day out to make sure that I have the best information possible about what's going on in the department and what my troops need and what we need to do to serve the citizens of Pasadena better. So with that said, I'm going to invite Chief Bruger to the podium. He's going to read the bio, and then he's going to read the narrative. And I'd also like to invite Officer John Lozano to come join me.
Officer John Lozano Breckenridge was born on July 19, 1989 in Houston, Texas. Officer Lozano graduated from Clear Creek High School in May of 2007. Following his graduation from Clear Creek, he attended San Jacinto Junior College from August of 2007 until May of 2008. In 2008, Officer Lozano moved to Huntsville, Texas, and continued furthering his education at Sam Houston State University, where he graduated in December of 2010 with a Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice with a minor in Communications. In July of 2011, Officer Lozano was employed as a court liaison officer for the Montgomery County Community Supervision and Corrections Department. Officer Lozano began his employment with the Pasadena Police Department on October 14, 2013. Officer Lozano is a graduate of the Pasadena Police Academy 67th Academy class and is currently assigned to the night shift patrol. Officer Lozano is a member of the Pasadena Police Department's SRT team and completed a brief stint as a member of the Hotspot Tactical Unit, which you'll hear about here in a little bit. Officer Lozano is getting our Outstanding Performance Award, and I'm going to tell you what he's getting that award for. Information was forwarded to the awards committee by Sergeant Hickman in regard to a narcotics investigation you initiated. While working a traffic enforcement grant program, you conducted a traffic stop for speeding. While issuing a citation, you detected the odor of marijuana emitting from inside the vehicle. You obtained consent to search from the driver of the vehicle. Upon searching the vehicle, you uncovered approximately $26,000 in cash as well as narcotic paraphernalia. The driver admitted to possession of the narcotics paraphernalia and he was arrested. Further investigation by both the narcotics and detective divisions uncovered several stolen firearms, 2 stolen ballistic vests, and more illegal narcotics. After interviews with the suspect, he admitted to committing several burglaries and home invasion robberies around the state of Texas. Because of your excellent observations and skillful investigative techniques, a dangerous criminal as well as a significant amount of illegal narcotics were taken off the street. On behalf of myself and my staff, I wish to commend you and congratulate you for being the recipient of the Pasadena Police Department's Outstanding Performance Award. Congratulations. Thank you.
Would you like to say something?
Never mind.
Go ahead.
I just want to say thank you. This award, it wouldn't be possible without the help of several others, one of which is Officer Cooper in the back. I have an amazing detective staff that, along with the stop and the traffic arrest, conducted an excellent investigation, and we're a part of all of this. And so without that, I wouldn't be able to stand here and take this today. And I just want to thank my family and friends. Thank y'all.
All that from a traffic stop.
All that.
It's good work. Officer Ortiz. This side. Officer J. Ortiz was born in Houston, Texas in 1977. He graduated from Clearbrook High School in 1995 and immediately enlisted in the United States Navy. He served for 4 years as a single man assigned to the USS Kearsarge and the USS Thorn. Upon returning to civilian life, Officer Ortiz attended the University of Houston Downtown Police Academy and graduated in 2000. He started his law enforcement career in 2001 with the Stafford Police Department. In 2003, Officer Ortiz transferred to the Pasadena Police Department, where he has worked both evening and night shift patrol. Officer Ortiz is currently assigned to West District on night shift patrol. I'm going to read Officer Traxler's bio. He couldn't be here today, but he's also being recognized along with Officer Ortiz. Officer Traxler was born in Dallas, Texas. After high school, Officer Traxler joined the United States Army. He was a U.S. Army paratrooper and served in combat operations in Grenada, Kuwait, and Iraq. Kevin joined the Pasadena Police Department in March of 1996 and graduated from the 46th Police Academy. Kevin has been assigned to both night shift and evening shift patrol, and he's a member of the Crisis Negotiations Team, Crisis Intervention Team, and stays very active as a peer support team member. Officer Ortiz and Officer Traxler are also receiving the Outstanding Performance Award, and I'm going to tell you what they're getting their award for. Sergeant Hughes forwarded information to the awards committee regarding your response to a potentially violent situation over family disturbance. Your initial response was as a backup for a fellow officer already on scene. Upon arrival, you found a male subject in his vehicle acting agitated, threatening to strike officers with his vehicle, and asking that officers take his life. You took a tactical position near the vehicle and began to speak to the subject through his vehicle window. The subject remained upset and often refused to cooperate. You did not give up and were able to establish a strong rapport with him. Although there were other officers in the area with a variety of force options, you used your training and verbal skills to de-escalate the situation. You were able to gather information about the man's family, which calmed him down. Through further negotiations, the subject finally agreed to get out of the vehicle, where he was taken into protective custody and transported to the hospital for further evaluations. Your actions were directly responsible for keeping this situation under control. You demonstrated a high degree of initiative and patience that ultimately led to a peaceful resolution. On behalf of myself and my staff, I wish to commend you and congratulate you for being the recipient of the Pasadena Police Department's Outstanding Performance Award. Congratulations.
No? I think sometimes the officers think this mic is loaded. Not sure. And they'd rather face a loaded gun, I think, than face a microphone in the public. At this time, I get to read a few more narratives about some other good work that's being done. We're about to recognize the Regional Intelligence Center for a unit citation, Chief's unit citation. So can I have Joe Stepp and Georgia Cook join me? And I'm going to read Eddie Wilkerson, Sergeant Eddie Wilkerson's bio as well. He couldn't attend. He's attending a funeral, unfortunately, today. All right, let me read Joe's bio. Joe Stepp was born in Houston and graduated from Channelview High School. Joe spent 25 years in the U.S. Army Special Forces and retired at the rank of Lieutenant Colonel. Immediately after 9/11, Joe served on the ground in Iraq and Afghanistan as a Special Forces advisor for the Department of Defense and conducted classified operations in support of Operations Iraqi Freedom and Enduring Freedom from 2001 through 2010. He worked at the Pentagon as a Special Forces senior analyst prior to joining the Pasadena Police Department in 2011. Joe has played a vital role in establishing a regional counterterrorism program for Southeast Harris County and serves as the Regional Intelligence Coordinator. Joe has been married to his wife, Jerry, for 32 years. They live in Pasadena and have 2 children, Bethany and Jordan, and 4 beautiful grandchildren, Gavin, Scarlett, Braylon, and Henley. Joe enjoys spending his free time riding his bicycle, volunteering with Pug Hearts Rescue, and enjoying time with his family. Georgia Cook. Georgia was born in Warner Robins, Georgia, to Tom and Terry Everett. Her family later relocated to Texas, where she graduated with honors from Clear Creek High School before attending San Jacinto College and the University of Houston. She began her career with the Pasadena Police Department in 2005 as a police service officer. Georgia promoted to the rank of PSO3 before being selected as the 911 and training coordinator in 2008. She received the Civilian of the Quarter Award in the spring of 2011 for her efforts in establishing and implementing the PSO training program. In the fall of 2011, Georgia was selected for her current position as the intelligence analyst for the RIC, Regional Intelligence Center. She is married to Pasadena police officer Chad Cook, and they have 5 children, 3 sons, Xavier 12, Arik 6, Torin 5, 1 daughter, Kada 1, and nephew Dylan 11. They spend their free time enjoying their children and attending karate practices and events. After 5 kids, you don't have much time for anything else, do you?
That's about it.
Okay. Sergeant Eddie Wilkerson was born in Abilene, Texas, but grew up in Pasadena, attending Cruz Elementary, Jackson Intermediate, and Pasadena High Schools. He graduated from Clark High School in San Antonio before attending Texas A&M University. Eddie joined the department in 1986 and has served in patrol, narcotics, planning and research, and as the department's public information officer. He promoted to sergeant in 2007 with assignments in patrol, spotlight, gang task force, and a temporary assignment with the Regional Intelligence Center in 2011. He was officially assigned to the RIC in November of 2014. Eddie's a former board member of the Texas Municipal Police Association, serving as president in 2009 and 2010. He served as Texas Workers' Compensation Commissioner from 2002 to 2005 after being appointed by Governor Rick Perry. He has been married to his wife Wanda for 33 years, and together they've raised 2 sons. Chris, who's currently assigned to the Juvenile Division, he's a police officer in Pasadena, and is married to his wife Lindsay. Together they have an 8-year-old son, Aiden. Kyle, his other son, and his wife Mandy live in Melissa, Texas, and he is an officer in McKinney, Texas. Let me tell you how these 3 folks came together and deserve this unit citation. They've accomplished a lot in the short time that they've been here or established the unit. We live in a world today where terrorists wish to harm innocent members of our society because of ideological differences. Consequently, our nation must remain vigilant in order to avoid future catastrophic events such as that which befell us on September 11, 2001. One of the lessons learned from that horrific day was that communication between all law enforcement agencies needed to improve. In an effort to address this need, the federal government sponsored the establishment of numerous communication hubs for law enforcement referred to as fusion centers. These fusion centers were intended to facilitate the sharing of intelligence related to potential threats to our homeland based in part on the information gleaned from a National Suspicious Activity Reporting System, also known as SARS. Today, this information, along with other intelligence, is funneled through these centers to ensure that communication between all law enforcement entities, be they local, state, or federal, are as effective and timely as possible. The Pasadena Police Department was called upon to establish one of these communication hubs. Thus, the Regional Intelligence Center was born. Although originally intended to serve as a link between the Fusion Center at the Houston Police Department and the 14 municipal police departments in the southeast quadrant of Harris County, the RIC scope has grown. Today, in addition to the original 14 municipal police departments, the RIC also serves 2 local constables' offices, 2 school district and 2 university police agencies, and a local military police contingent. Despite a staffing of only 3 members, this unit served as a well-functioning executive command level intelligence program for local law enforcement. They've exceeded all expectations and performed admirably in keeping senior law enforcement leaders apprised of potential threats to our communities. They continuously sift through classified documents, preparing executive summaries for command staff personnel. Their briefings range from overseas threats presented by ISIS to other more local matters such as the Ebola issue. They also regularly conduct regional threat assessments related to large public events. And on occasion, they host regional meetings of senior law enforcement leadership to provide a comprehensive overview of emerging threats or trends. Within the last year, the members of the RIC also trained over 500 civilian and classified personnel on the suspicious activity reporting process. This paid tremendous dividends in that local SARS increased by over 100% in 2014. Some of these reports were later converted to classified investigations, which have been assigned to the Joint Terrorism Task Force for follow-up. By any standard, this program has proven to be enormously successful and relevant to senior law enforcement leaders in our region. The program was forged on the importance of building and maintaining relationships across law enforcement disciplines and organizations. The members of the RIC have been recognized as a model for accomplishing this. Consequently, they brought credit to the city of Pasadena as a regional leader in counterterrorism issues. The personnel of the Regional Intelligence Center continue to work quietly within Pasadena and other local communities to identify precursors to terrorism and violent criminal activity. As one can imagine, this is an ongoing and daunting task that requires not only the right people, but it requires the right mix of people. Fortunately, we have both. Through their actions and continued commitment to excellence, the members of the Regional Intelligence Center are awarded this Police Chief's Unit Citation this 19th day of May, 2015. George, you get to be in the picture too. You're the best looking. Would you like to say something?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Say something. I just say that I'm very, very proud of the city of Pasadena. I think we have great leadership. I'm very proud of the Pasadena Police Department and the Pasadena Fire Department. All those are important. I had a chance in my military career to serve with elite forces. I feel like I'm serving with elite forces here. When you're around people like Brian Dudley, Ben Hickman, Vic Bewley, and the list goes on, those are just great people. And I didn't forget you, Adam Sanders. So I'm very, very proud and very honored every day. The men and women of the Pasadena Police Department are second to nobody. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Scott Cood, would you please join me? Amen. Scott is going to receive a chief's citation for his actions with the Honor Guard. Scott used to work in my office. I taught you well. No, let me tell you about Scott. Let me read his narrative, or bio, I should say. Scott Cood is a native of Baytown, Texas, where he graduated from Ross S. Sterling High in 1999. After high school, Scott enlisted in the U.S. Marines, where he served as a CH-53E mechanic for 5 years. After being honorably discharged from the Marines in 2004, Scott returned to the Houston area and began the Pasadena Police Academy in January of 2005. Scott has been with the Pasadena Police for more than 10 years now and has been assigned to all 3 patrol shifts, the DWI Task Force, the Chief's Office, and is currently assigned to the Community Services Division as a Neighborhood Community Impact DRT Officer for the Queens and Mount Vernon Chiefs target area. All right, let me read the narrative for the Chief's citation. Sergeant Craig Hamilton forwarded correspondence to the Chief's Office praising the actions of Officer Cood and his continuing commitment to ensure the Pasadena Police Department's Honor Guard establishes a reputation as being the best Honor Guard detail in our region. The Honor Guard is the ceremonial unit expected to epitomize the professionalism of the organization they represent. They are, in effect, the face of the organization during formal ceremonies and other somber events such as funerals or memorial services. Sergeant Hamilton noted in his letter that Officer Cood consistently goes above and beyond in leading the Pasadena Police Department's Honor Guard to consistently excel as they perform their duties. He noted that Officer Cood serves as the team leader for the Color Guard, where his prior military experience has paid tremendous dividends in improving the precision with which the maneuvers of this detail are executed. Officer Cood was also complimented for his initiative to rewrite a comprehensive set of standard operating procedures for all aspects of the Honor Guard. The procedures manual details with specificity the proper deployment at various functions as well as the proper techniques to perform various maneuvers. To ensure consistency, Officer Cood prepared and taught a week-long school on Honor Guard procedures. This class covered topics such as the Color Guard alignment, the flag folding ceremony, casket detail responsibilities, and the fire team for the 21-gun salute. It left nothing to chance. Sergeant Hamilton noted that Officer Cood did this on his own initiative without being asked. The pride Officer Cood takes in the Honor Guard did not stop there. He also took steps to research and update the uniform of the Honor Guard. He then personally made sure that every member received each piece of equipment or uniform item required to assure the most professional appearance of the unit. Following that, he briefed members on the proper manner in which the uniform was to be worn and adorned. Sergeant Hamilton noted that he consistently receives praise from other police agencies regarding the professional appearance of our Honor Guard and attributes that in large part to the attention to detail paid by Officer Cood. Sergeant Hamilton concludes his letter by thanking Officer Cood for his leadership and guidance to help make the Pasadena Police Department's Honor Guard the much respected unit it is today. He goes on to say that Officer Cood's professionalism and actions are certainly worthy of recognition, and I agree with that. Officer Cood's actions are exemplary and in keeping with the highest traditions of law enforcement. Therefore, Officer Scott Cood is hereby awarded this Police Chief's Commendation this 19th day of May, 2015. Come on here so she can get a picture. Here's your letter. Think you want to say something?
First, I wish that my bio had been read before the colonel's. But I think that the duties of the Honor Guard are inherently profoundly important, and I feel humbled to have been able to serve with our honor guard, and it's a great bunch of guys, and I'm glad we're lucky to have them. And thank you for the award.
Okay. Well, Sergeant Brian Dudley, Officer John Lozano, and Officer Jeff Mubarak is going to be recognized, but he is unable to be here as well today. Now, it's not unusual that we have repeat award winners. It is unique that we have a repeat award winner on the same day. If you notice, John Lozano is coming for his second award. And what we're going to be talking about here, or what they're being recognized for, is they're receiving a chief citation for their work. What did we title this? Patrol Unit Response Team?
Sounds good, Chief.
Okay. This was an ad hoc unit that was brought together to address some issues. So the Tactical Patrol Unit is what I'm reading here, so we'll call it that for the time being.
You're the chief.
All right. Let me read Sergeant Dudley's bio. Brian Dudley was born and raised in Pasadena, Texas, where he graduated from Pasadena High School in 1988. Brian worked various jobs and joined the Pasadena Fire Department in 1990, moving up to the rank of lieutenant. Brian quickly realized that he wanted to be a police officer and started attending college at San Jacinto and the University of Houston, where he received his TCO license. Brian was hired with the Pasadena Police Department in 1995 as a dispatcher, where he worked on evening shift until he was selected for the 47th Basic Police Academy. After graduation from the academy, Brian was assigned to all 3 shifts on patrol: narcotics, motors, honor guard, CERT, and SWAT. Brian has received several commendations such as Officer of the Month, Employee of the Quarter, the Meritorious Life Saving Award, FOP Officer of the Year, and the Distinguished Valor Award from TCOL and the Governor's Office of Texas. Brian promoted to the rank of sergeant in 2012, where he has been assigned to night shift patrol. Brian's other duties include being a sergeant over the SRT team and the TAC squad. Brian is married to Officer Stephanie Dudley, and they have 3 children, all girls, Kelly, Brianna, and Alana. God help you, Brian. They've got you outnumbered. We've read Officer Lozano's bio earlier, but if you remember, he came from Houston, Texas, graduated from Clear Creek High School. And do you want me to read it again? No, I thought not. I thought not. But we remember John just from a few minutes ago. Let me tell you about Jeff Mubarak, who again was unable to attend. Officer Mubarak retired from the United States Army in 2007 and moved with his 3 kids and wife from Alaska to the greater Houston area in order to join the Pasadena Police Department in November of the same year. After graduating from the academy, he worked night shift patrol for 3 years, was transferred to the RIC and CDU, Regional Intelligence Center, and later returned to the night shift patrol where he is currently assigned. He lives with his wife of 27 years, and his kids are currently serving in the United States military. Family tradition there as well. All right, let me read the chief's citation. Correspondence from Lieutenant Wright was provided to the chief's office recommending formal recognition of Sergeant Brian Dudley and Officers Jeff Mubarak and John Lozano. The recommendation stems from their efforts in establishing a tactical patrol unit in response to criminal activity at a local apartment complex. Under Sergeant Dudley's leadership and direction, the unit was able to significantly reduce criminal activity in the targeted and surrounding area through a highly visible uniform presence, intelligence gathering, and partnerships with other criminal justice and city departments. To better focus their efforts, the members of the unit met with the Harris County Adult and Juvenile Probation Departments, the Parole Division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, as well as the City of Pasadena Housing Department. The members of the unit used outside-the-box solutions to address the criminal activity in this geographic area. These newly formed partnerships are expected to continue to pay dividends in future problem-solving efforts. A key component of the unit's success was their willingness to communicate across divisions within the Pasadena Police Department. Members of the unit passed intelligence to other investigative divisions regarding active investigations, which ultimately resulted in detectives filing felony criminal charges on several suspects. The investigative divisions also relied upon the Tactical Patrol Unit to assist in various investigations from a terroristic threat at a carnival to multiple work van-related thefts. The Tactical Patrol Unit was deployed for 6 weeks, beginning February 18, 2015 through March 29, 2015. During this time period, they made 90 arrests, 15 of which were felonies. Of the 90 arrests, 26 were for drug offenses, 21 were for open warrants. The unit confiscated 3 handguns and approximately $9,300 in cash that were proceeds from illegal activities. The Tactical Patrol Unit is one portion of the patrol-wide 2015 goal of decreasing robberies, auto thefts, and burglary of motor vehicle incidents. The unit's efforts exemplify the department's values of pride, excellence, teamwork, and service. Diligence, collaboration, communication, and an alternative approach to problem solving has resulted in a safer community for Pasadena residents. Through their actions and continued commitment to excellence, Sergeant Dudley and Officers Mubarak and Lozano are hereby awarded the Police Chief's citation this 19th day of May, 2015. Congratulations. Let me stand between you. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. You want to say something, Brian? You want to say something?
I basically just want to thank Sergeant Dudley and Lieutenant Wright for allowing me this opportunity and having faith in me that I wouldn't screw things up too bad.
First and foremost, I want to thank God for keeping us safe and all the officers that we work with, keeping them safe every day. Second, my family for putting up with the hours that we work. We work some very strange hours, so appreciate that. Also to the Chief's office and Lieutenant Wright. Without y'all, we couldn't have done this because y'all are the ones that put us up in the front and told us what you expected and what to do. These two guys, Jeff's not here, but John Lozano, they're just go-getters. I laid out a lesson plan of what we were going to do, and these guys went out and did it. So I don't really deserve the credit. It's these guys here. They are hard workers. Not only them, but narcotics division, gangs division, hiding. You helped us with the criminal intelligence. I mean, there's so many people I can thank here. It was actually a team effort, and this was truly a team effort. So taking this is really kind of odd for me, but I do want to make sure everybody's thanked. So thank you again.
Okay, what you've seen, I mean, you've heard about their good deeds, but I think what you see more than that is who these folks are, and that's what makes it such a privilege for me to work here, and lucky enough to be the chief of these men and women, because if you see, they were deferring any credit for themselves and trying to acknowledge all the contributions from everybody else. And again, service, teamwork, excellence, and pride. I mean, that does sum up who we are in the Pasadena Police Department. And I love the humility these guys have. They don't want to take any credit for the good work that they did, and they want to share it. And that's what makes this department special. And that's what makes our relationship with the community special, too, is you're there for us as well. So thank you again for coming out today. We have cake and punch. I hope that you hang around, visit with the folks. You have an opportunity to congratulate them yourself. But thank you again so much for coming, and we'll invite you out for the next one here in the next couple months or so. So thank you. Please enjoy.